And we have something very important to talk about. My boy Ye getting dragged through the mud, and also we got a little bit of Kyrie. We'll talk a
Mhm.
little bit about that. Jeff, you want to say what's up to the people? Anything you
Uh,
want to say to them?
Dude, people, what's up? Hope everybody's doing well. It's good to be here. Listen, man, y'all pay attention to all the stuff going on. You got to study some stuff for yourself too.
They tried to play us, but we made the game. Offend these haters, turn their shade to shame. Believe you me. Stick with the name that pays. Big Daddy, everything. And they thought I was dumb to rap, but how dumb is that when I'm the running back? Good punch you in front of you at eye level, see if you gon' stomach that. It's food for thought, but we don't feed them hoes, we don't need them hoes. Eloquent, Big Daddy elephant, just in their element. Intelligence, telling men something they could tell a friend. And
All right. So as you know, most recently we've been seeing a lot of things going on with Ye. Most people will know him as Kanye West,
Hmm.
Kanye to the, and then also Kyrie Irving just recently. Jeff, you familiar with kind of what's going on a little bit?
Yeah, I am. I think we saw some of this from Nick Cannon not too long ago, briefly, very small time,
Okay.
right? Something similar, but yeah.
All right. So we're seeing a little bit of stuff that we've actually talked about on here.
Hmm.
Remember? All right. Y'all remember? Go ahead and let me see some comments. If anybody is watching this on YouTube, we appreciate it. Go ahead and like and then subscribe. If anybody cares, you can share. If you don't, you won't.
It's cool if you don't care. We understand.
By the way, that was me on the intro with the rap part, and then Jeff was he did the choral part, the chorus. Hola.
Manny,
I'm so used to singing, you didn't write the song.
that's the way.
It's waving.
I
Manny,
like
I've
that
been
picture, Manny.
yeah, that's a good picture. I've been seeing a lot of pictures Manny been posting. I almost reached out to her. I was like, Manny, you don't usually post this many pictures. We good, we good, just in a good mood. Uh ¿Qué pasó? She asked. I assume she's talking to you, Jeff.
Oh, is that what you assume? Well, de nada, Manny. All right.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, paso to you too. All right.
But it's not literally you're welcome. You wouldn't translate it as you're welcome, but it would be like it's kind of like saying you're welcome.
It's like it's nothing.
Yeah,
So it's not the correct response to que paso. But
all right.
all right. Okay.
All right, Jeff. Yes, I was just updating my IG. Oh, okay, because I was behind everyone that I saw. I was just liking and liking and liking. Raytoria, thanks for joining. Looks like she had a lot of fun with that one, Jeff. All right.
That was a good one. I appreciate that. Now we know. If y'all didn't know, now you know. All right.
It's for you too. So I believe that. ¿Qué pasó? Muy bien. ¿Y tú, usted? How are you, man? With respect. Let's see.
That was with respect because he didn't say you too. He said
Oh, this is a good one.
instead.
Man, this is a remix.
All right. Chief.
No, you left. Look, brother, you left so many E's out.
Oh, I did. Chief.
There you go, bro. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Manny, we appreciate you. And anytime you write, whatever you write on the teleprompter, we're going to read.
Yeah.
So,
in the manner that it is written.
the way you write it, that's how we're gonna. Well done, sir.
Gracias.
Man. All right, so yeah, so we've got some religious things going on. Religious. You have this word being thrown around, AS. Y'all know what AS stands for? AS?
It's AS. AS. Alpha Sierra.
AS. That word is being thrown around. Anti, and then another word. It's attached to it. Let some time go by. Time went by. Semitic. Is the oh yeah, how'd you say it? Alpha what?
Alpha Sierra.
Alpha Sierra.
Yeah. It's kind of both, actually, Manny, because apparently Ye is AS AF, according to the media.
Yeah. So Ye is he put up a tweet. No, we gotta go back before the tweet, brother.
Yeah.
The White Lives Matter.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where it started as far as the public's eye. Well, maybe not started because people were starting to beef with him over his ex.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that going on.
There was a little bit of that already starting brewing. Yeah.
White Lives Matter. Jeff, I'm just gonna come off the cuff with this one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw it at you. Like first thing to come to mind, Stan should throw it right back. Okay.
All right. Cool. Let's do it.
All right. So, do white lives matter?
Oh man.
Just the first thing that comes.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you want me to get canceled? Because
okay, ask me. Try with me.
Well, okay. So, hey, how do white lives matter?
They do, brother. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. White lives matters, and and Black Lives Matter. And infants, I mean not infants, fetuses' lives matter. And the elderly, their lives matter. And Spanish speaking lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
Asian lives matter. I wonder is there an easier way to say it, brother? Because I want to. It's just so many, Puerto Rican lives matter. Yes.
Yes, I do.
Brazilian lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? I don't know, brother. I could keep going. Just Czechoslovakian lives matter.
I mean, we got words like that we can use to kind of sum all of it up. Like words like all. You could go with human.
Human lives matter.
You could say human lives matter.
Human lives matter, but then you're kind of excluding German Shepherds, brother.
Yeah, and I guess we all felt the pain of those commercials for the animals, in the arms of the angels.
Yeah.
So I think all of us in our generation we care very deeply about dogs and cats.
So lives matter. How about that?
Life matters.
Life matters.
Life matters. We'll see you in 30 days. Yeah.
That's the best one, brother. Life matters.
Life matters. Yeah.
Life matters.
Yeah.
Man, they said all lives matter. Do you know why it's offensive, brother, to see White Lives Matters on a shirt that a black person's wearing? Are you at least in tune enough to kind of?
Yeah. I understand it, brother. I get
All
it.
right. All right, give it to us just a little bit, brother. Let's just.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff went down. Some terrible things happened, and upsprung this Black
Terrible
Lives
like what?
Matter.
Terrible like what?
Some innocent people were killed by the police,
Okay.
and it was taken as it was seen as a racial thing, right? As a white cop, black victim, and I know Black Lives Matter sprung up. The movement sprung up, and people started taking to the streets. That escalated on both ends. We started seeing more of the victims, and then more of the protesting. And then, as a response to that, people started saying White Lives Matter.
No,
No?
we started saying all lives.
All Lives Matter. That's right. That's right. As a response to that, it was All Lives Matter. And that was kind of like it was seen as a cop out from white people. I think that's how it was seen.
That's pretty good. I'm going to take everyone to the emotion of Black Lives Matter. This is a very clever way to pull as many people as you can in. When you see somebody get away with murder, or what seems to be murder, it and you see it against people like Mike Brown. You know, that was a big one. And you saw Elijah McCain, and you see Sandra Bland, you see George Floyd, you see nobody got it. They didn't get away with George Floyd, but you just see what it seems like. You can get away with killing a certain.
Castillo was the one that shocked me, brother.
Yeah,
that was
pretty bad. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it started to seem like, well, if you get rid of, wildlife. Does wildlife matter, Jeff?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay,
yeah. Wildlife does matter.
Okay, so why is it that I can't kill a deer whenever I want, but I can kill a hog whenever I feel like?
The hogs are doing too much. They reproduce way too fast, and they're very destructive, and there's too many of them. And
you
need to kill them.
You, sir.
I'm just saying that's why you can kill pigs whenever you want, because they're everywhere. They're destructive. They don't. They can't be domesticated.
You're saying
but they're hogs and they're horrible, and you should be able to kill them.
You're saying it right now. You remember the experiment? You remember the experiment that I have? I'll give anybody this experiment to show that we're all.
I remember this, yeah.
That we're all very racist.
Mm-hmm.
Not the full term racism. Like that's when you think about racism as a system. No, we're not. We can't. We don't have the capacity to all have racist systems against everybody else. But just the idea, we'll see that we all think the same. All people, we all think the same. I need a volunteer, please. If I can get a volunteer to come up to the front of the stage. Any volunteers?
Anybody.
Anybody.
Come on up. One volunteer. You will be treated kindly.
Looking for a volunteer. We won't embarrass you. Just gonna have some questions. Just need some participation. Somebody to participate. Do we have any volunteers? No volunteers. All right. Then Jeff, by default.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Now I want y'all to also remember that Jeff, he has friends that are black, right?
Yeah. Some of my best friends are black.
All right.
All right. Okay. My last name is Rodriguez. Yeah, I grew up in a house with a Puerto Rican mother. So
there you go. You've okay. We got a volunteer.
Thank you. All right.
We got a volunteer here. All right. So this is the test or the demonstration. I I'm asking this to Victoria, but I need I do need somebody to make sure that I stay within my bounds. Jeff, let's see, a coyote and a collie, border collie, not like the bigger kind, but a border collie. They're way about the same, roughly. Female.
Yeah, a coyote and a border collie. Yeah, I would say, yeah, within 10, 15 pounds of each other.
Okay, cool.
Same size.
All right. I appreciate it. Okay, Victoria, which would it, one has to go? One has to die, and they have to die right now. You don't have to watch it, but one of them do have to die. You get to choose from a collie. Oh, look at what was that collie? What was that?
Oh,
What was that collie's name? Yeah, that's Lassie.
Lassie.
Okay, so either
I was always happy to see you.
So either Victoria, tell me either Lassie or a coyote. Which one has to die right now? Brother, you had the name Lassie, man. Golly. Just thinking about her.
Yep.
Lassie's dying? You're killing Lassie?
Whoa.
Oh no. Oh, Maggie says, no, not Lassie. Victoria, are you killing Lassie?
Lassie? I don't know, man.
You better not say him. Lassie was a boy?
I thought Lassie would have been a girl. Lassie's got to be a girl. Because
Yeah,
a lad,
Lassie.
Lassie.
OMG. Unless just useless, just a cute face.
No, Lassie was always like,
okay,
letting people know there was danger.
You know what? Victoria has played this game before. She knows what's going on. All right. Manny, Manny. Oh, Manny, she's volunteering.
Oh, hey, come on up, Manny. Yeah, all right.
Participate. So we all know who Lassie is. Manny says the hell with the coyote, so the coyote dies. I'd like to ask, Manny, I don't know, just out of curiosity, why'd you choose the coyote? Why'd you say the coyote should die? Why are you murdering the coyote? Why are you responsible for the coyote's death? And while we are waiting on that answer, say woman, not fair. Rachel, you already played this game. You're not fair. So she says that the coyote should die. We'll keep going. I have a couple other ones. Let's see. Jeff, I'm gonna say, like the Cadbury, like the Easter type bunnies.
Yeah.
They look like that. And they don't hop too far. They're just like hop, hop, hop.
Yeah.
And then they'll hop, hop. Okay. Either that or like a Nutra-Rat. Have you ever seen a Nutra-Rat before?
Yeah.
This kind of guy that got the big.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, and they don't have any tail. They don't have hair on their tails. Those ones.
Yeah. The ones in New York, the Nutra-Rats.
Yeah, they have really big like testicle sacs.
Yeah, they just drag across the floor as they run and scurry.
Oh no, I don't know. No, Manny.
You said to hell with the coyote.
You said it. You said to hell with the coyote. I feel it.
You even attached a gender to Lassie.
Yeah. Tell me. Pick either the bunny or the rat. Which one? One has to die, so you don't even have to feel too bad. It's just one has to die.
Yeah, you're not killing either one. You're just selecting the one that has to die.
Or the one that you want to live, right? You might look at it, well,
there you go. Yeah.
I don't want to live, but I just kind of want this one to live a little bit more. However you want to put it.
Let the bunny live. Or the Nutra-Rat. Yeah.
Which one? What are you thinking? Oh, okay. She says one is cuter. There you go. I'm biased. Good. Let me ask this: people eat bunny? Yes, they do. People eat rats too.
Mhm.
Let me ask this then, Manny. Do you think, and that way we can relieve you from the rest of this, because I think we'll all get it. Do you think there's anyone that would not have a reason for why they chose one or the other?
You saying like it wouldn't make a difference? Like somebody would say it makes no difference to me, whichever one, right?
Yeah, and we say one has to go, and so they choose because one has to go. So they choose, and then we say, "Aha! Why did you choose that?" And they say, "I have actually no reason." It doesn't lend to one way of thinking or the other.
Yeah.
So my question is there anybody that's alive that, I mean, not alive, but anyone that you know so far? I don't eat my pet. Okay, so that's another reason. One is a little closer to your lifestyle. Huh? The other, you don't really want to get close to you. Right? That's fair to say, isn't it, Manny?
Yeah.
She says neither. No, one has to die. The point is that, we can go down to, look at that grasshopper. Look at the grasshopper, and he's just he's flying, doesn't want any trouble. Or a roach. Which one? Which one should die? A roach or a grasshopper?
That's a good comparison too, brother.
Yeah.
Roach or grasshopper.
Yeah. Which one should die? Obviously,
You asking Manny this?
yeah, but
Okay.
I know where she's
you.
going with all this. She said one is cuter, so the cuter one gets to live. Yes, but why did Ray say the coyote? Ray said the coyote. Definitely the roach. The roach. Roach got to die. Ray said the coyote because she's trying to manipulate the system. The grasshopper, you ain't letting the grasshopper die. No, we know. We know that. This is how racist people think. It's cuter. There you go. Everybody that's racist or prejudiced, this is how they all think. It's easier to, Ray Torrey knows the game. It's easier to see the more despised. It's easier to see. This is good, Jeff. Check this out. Yes, ma'am. You are a racist, and I am a racism, and Jeff is a racism, and we're all racisms. Because why if one is more despised than the other? Because there's some people, if they had a pet rat, they would say, "No, I want my rat. I don't know anything about that bunny. It could have rabies." There's a book that we read about a vampire. Wasn't a vampire bunny, brother? It had rabies or something. I know in school growing up we had to read some.
Yeah, I remember something like of that. Yeah,
we had to read
sort of red eyes. It had red eyes.
There you go. That's it. I don't remember what it was called, but and this rat, I saw it when it was just born, and I took it and I kept it. And so somebody will say, "No, I would rather the rat," but it's because they are choosing the least despised to live.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, man. I used to fail this game all the time. Now I see the perspective, but in real life, the roach gotta go. The grasshopper, I don't know. At least try to save his life.
And that's just real quick. I want to point this out. When you look at the nature of these creatures, right, then you can kind of get to like a more clear judgment, right? Because like grasshoppers are quite more destructive than cockroaches are. You know what I mean? But ultimately, it's like what you're familiar with and how you're familiar with it, right? We don't want to see roaches in our home. So if we see one, we kill it. You know, and it's kind of like the kid movies, like Star Wars, for example. The stormtroopers are humans. That's human life, and they have helmets on, but we can't see their faces, so it's okay to shoot all of them.
Yeah, just kill them.
It's totally okay to shoot them because look at they're just wearing stupid outfits, stupid helmets.
Right. We can identify. Right. The
Yeah.
more you can identify with something,
Right.
the more you say no, that should live.
Yeah.
That should live more than that other thing. It's like when somebody looks at an unborn baby, they say, "Well, I can't identify with it. I don't see it looking back at me and saying hi," or I can't identify with it as a life. So I guess it's okay for it to die. So some people hate dogs and they wouldn't care if a dog got hit by a car. And some people love dogs and they would care because that's just how they identify. Grasshoppers won't procreate in your home. No, they won't. But Manny had a question. She said, "Is it racism or prejudice? What's the difference?"
That's a good question.
No, it is a good question. And it's the same. Prejudice is just prejudging a thing. I don't know. You don't know anything about this person or those or that community, or if you go to China and you say, "Wow, I didn't know everybody here spoke Taiwanese," and I guess some people would speak Taiwanese in China, I'm sure, but it's just a stereotype. It's just I don't know any better. I'm just judging this for what it is. I'm sorry, not what it is, but for what I think, and that's the precursor to racism.
Yeah.
And now, because I have my prejudgment about whatever it is, anything that happens to them, as long as it's not happening to me, I'm fine with it, and that is racism.
Yeah. Yeah, because the coyote's going to call you racist towards the coyote type.
You
hate me because I'm a coyote. You're racist towards me.
Yeah.
And those are two different races, the grasshopper and the roach, two different races.
Yeah.
One you prefer and one you detest.
It is. And so all of us we can all do that. As a matter of fact, it's the reason why so-called black people are okay with other so-called black people dying. It's because though they can somewhat identify, they're despised the most. So if a people are despised, it's like the roaches, they're despised. Rats are a little bit more despised. There's a less of an affinity for that person. Now, does that mean black people are racist against black people? No, it voids itself out.
Right.
But when it's so easy for us to decide, and sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes like I don't know why does one of them have to die? One of them has to die no matter what. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. Now that person is very close to not. They're very close to not being racist.
Yeah.
But when they make their choice, they finally make their choice, and they say, "Well, why did you make that choice?" I don't know. It's just one of them's cuter, I guess, and boom, there it is. You just threw away your innocence. You are a racism.
That's it. You're an extremist, and you suck. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
I know.
Really interesting. Yeah. I've been doing that exercise for quite some time with people, but you did just as good as everyone else. Yours was actually pretty entertaining. They're all pretty good, right, Jeff?
They're all pretty entertaining. I fumbled through mine pretty horribly, Manny.
Yeah. There's actually no way to win.
Yeah.
It's just to expose what's really going on and how if we were in the same position as now to be a supremacist, being a supremacist is an entirely different thing.
Right, yeah.
So some of these words that get thrown around, white supremacist is not the same thing as a racist. It's just not. And then somebody that can be prejudiced doesn't mean that they're racist. It definitely doesn't mean that they're supremacists.
Yeah. It's a good exercise because it kind of shows you the one of those uncomfortable truths. It's just one of those things that's true about people, man.
Yeah.
People are going to prefer the things that they're familiar with, or whatever the list of reasons why they prefer it, people prefer over another. That's just the way it goes.
Right. Let's see. What does Manny say? I just want to say I love heart all of you people. All of you people. Uh,
What do you
who-
what do you mean by what do you mean by you people?
uh, JS, as just saying. All right. So, I want to take you to this place. Uh, they saw that it was seeming like if black people get killed, it's just another day at work.
Yeah.
As to say, she went back and looked at her comment. I said, I love you all.
All right.
We know that,
Yeah.
Manny, and we love you too.
We love you too. Yeah.
She had some pictures of her, her sister, and her twin sister. And her mother. Her mother is actually very good looking. Your dad did well. There was young, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Young. It's cool. She said she was just putting up redoing her Instagram, so that's why I kept seeing all those pictures.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's why they had to say. That's why it resonated with so many people. Like, nah, I want y'all to know that Black lives, they mean a lot to us. It's not just, oh, you can just kill them and it doesn't really matter. Just throw them on the side of the road. When somebody is alive, it means something. And that's what they're saying. Like,
Yeah.
y'all, too much are we seeing that it doesn't really feel like our lives matter to everyone. Because y'all are excusing it. Oh, well, he shouldn't have this. Oh, well, he should have just complied. You remember that all that was being said?
Yeah.
So it felt, and you can't tell somebody how to feel. I learned that the hard way, brother. You can't tell someone how to feel.
Yeah, you can't correct none of that, man.
The way they feel, you can't tell someone to stop feeling that way, or
you're wrong.
You're wrong for feeling that way. That's how somebody feels.
Yeah, that's how
and so Black Lives Matter, not the necessarily the organization, but the idea of that phrase really caught on, didn't it, Jeff? It caught on, brother.
It did. Rightly so, because every day it seemed like there was a new incident.
Yeah,
where a Black life seemingly didn't matter to a cop or to somebody else. You know what I mean? So,
true.
Yeah, it did catch on, man. It did for sure.
So it took a lot of sensitivity. There were some people who were not Black, who are not. They're still not Black today, too. But there's people who are not Black that were able to have enough sensitivity to say, no, I see what y'all are saying. Like, yeah, and you shouldn't feel like your lives don't matter. So they would wear also in support Black Lives Matter, whether it's shirts. I saw people, they were selling masks, Jeff, that said Black Lives Matter on it.
Yeah.
Whether they cared about a Black life or not a Black life, they did care about greenbacks. And they were able to make a lot of, so that thing, it just spread, brother. Black Lives Matter.
For sure, yeah.
I Can't Breathe also.
Yep, that was a big one.
I thought that was pretty good because it was like a mask. And then on the mask it said,
I can't breathe.
And it was
there was some quality memes that came out of that one, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
All right.
There was some, I don't want to repeat it, but there was some top-notch memes that came from that one, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. The I Can't Breathe came from George Floyd, right? Very serious situation.
Yeah,
I remember.
absolutely.
I remember going to one of the what would you call it? Demonstration, protest.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I went and just hung out. I really was just hanging out. I didn't do anything for the cause, but I was there to see all the people, and I remember getting a different perspective. I told you.
Yeah.
I got a different perspective because when I would look at it, I was like, why are you just walking? Why is everybody coming out here walking and yelling? That's not going to change anything. I remember thinking that until I went. and the people's like there were people that smelled bad. Everybody was in such close proximity of to one another. Excuse me. People were running out of water, and I was like, wow, bro, they're fighting, man. This ain't,
Yeah.
they're not at home in the AC. They're actually out here hoping that their voices can make a difference, or at least having strength in numbers would make have some sort of significance. And I remember they were holding uh, uh, pickets up, saying certain things as they're holding their signs up, and it was the whole time they're walking, they had the signs up, yeah. Your arms could get tired, shoulders get tired, and they just kept going, man. They were yelling and brother, I know that nobody could hear them, but they were just at the top of their lungs. Say his name, George Floyd, and no justice, no peace, no justice, and just brother, they never stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I got a very, very different perspective, and that's possible for people to get a different perspective when they get closer.
Yeah.
Jeff, is it possible that maybe a coyote could win your heart over, brother?
For sure, brother. Yeah. No, for sure. I remember when you shared that perspective with me, brother. I was prejudiced towards the protesting idea.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, what is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. I watch it on TV, and it goes away in that same street. Doesn't matter anymore. But when you get that perspective, it's like, man, that's actually kind of a big deal. There's people out here doing this, and
they woke up.
There is actually no peace in this city because there is no justice.
That's right.
And I have a different perspective. I'm no longer going to prejudge, protesting.
And that happens. You get a little closer to something, you can see, oh, okay, I was being a way too rigid.
For sure, yeah. I could end up easily with a coyote as a pet.
Yeah,
probably.
You could say, one of my favorite pets are a coyote.
Coyotes are great. Actually, buy coyote food all the time.
Oh man, I like their music.
I love coyote music. You ever heard how they sound?
Have you ever protested? You want to take that, Jeff?
I have protested. I have.
Yes. Could you explain, please?
Well, I was in a place where people were treated poorly, and they treated us quite poorly, and we decided that we would not stand for it, and so we protested.
That's a riot. I think that's called a riot, brother.
That's what they called it, but it was a protest. Yeah, we protested. They called it that too. We got gassed and everything, but
I did protest after that. After that, I did protest, not for that cause. There was something going on in Nigeria that I heard about, and I'm all the way over here, but I had heard about it, so I decided I was going to go and at least be there in support. But then I caught myself repeating what was being said, and
you were one of the protesters.
I became one of the protesters, and I didn't want to admit it, but that's what I was doing. I was in support of the cause that they were fighting for.
Oh.
And so I have nothing negative to say about a protester. Sometimes that's what you can do. I'm one of the people that can try to do a little bit more, but of course I wasn't in a position to fly to Nigeria and do anything there. And so I realized that, when your hands are tied behind your back and that's maybe all that you can do is just use your voice, maybe that's all you can do. So I respect it. Kanye, or Ye, he goes by Ye, wears a White Lives Matter shirt. And because of those emotions I just shared with you, it seems that he's very insensitive towards the original feeling behind saying Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Can I just real quick, can I add to that?
Yeah.
the picture I saw, he was standing with Candace Owens,
Yep.
who was also wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. They were doing the yin and yang juxtapose. Is that the word? One
Yes,
was
sir.
black and white, the other was white and black. And interestingly enough, Candace Owens just had a documentary released about BLM, about Black Lives Matter, and the workings behind the movement. And her position is very opposite of someone that would appreciate the movement of BLM.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was, it wasn't just that he wore it. He was with Candace Owen, who is seen as an opposition
That's true. That is
to
true.
quite a few people that support the movement.
So Manny says this was offensive. This okay, so watch how true this is. It's true that it's offensive because that's how people feel. And there's nothing you
Yeah.
can do about that. If somebody's offended by something, brother, if I didn't mean to offend or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? That's something I have to grow up and understand. Like, it doesn't matter if I didn't mean to offend them. It doesn't matter if I'm like, what? That offends you? What?
Get over
It
it,
doesn't
bro.
matter.
Nah.
It doesn't matter. I need to grow up and realize, somebody took offense to that.
Yeah. Well.
And they wouldn't be offended if I didn't do something. So let's look at it. This all you got to do is just take a little time to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a real reason of why I'm doing it, I can at least acknowledge I know what it looks like. I don't mean to hurt y'all's feelings.
Yeah.
But I'm doing this for a reason. The Christ offended a lot of people. And he wasn't cussing them out, Jeff, right?
No, he wasn't.
But there were people who took great offense to what he was saying, what he was doing. He took great offense. But all in all, the reason why words don't really move me at all, brother. Words, I know that they can tickle an emotion, but my emotions are very far away from my words. Won't reach my emotions, brother.
Yeah,
words. Even if someone says, "I just think you are so awesome and I love you so much," I'll say, "Man, I love you too."
That still didn't reach your emotion?
No, sir.
So they couldn't.
It won't reach.
They couldn't send that in as a Trojan horse and say, "Ha,
man.
psych, we think you're stupid," and then trick you, make you feel upset.
It won't reach. You know what it does, brother? You know, like when people come and kind of like cast mail under your door. Under the door. How far does that go, bro?
It barely goes any far, bro.
So if I was in my living room living,
Yes, sir.
Right, or if I was in my bathroom bathing, I'll never see that message that you just sent under my door.
No, it's just one side of it's going to be dirty from being outside.
That's it. So that's how words are with my emotions. And I don't know, man. Some people don't like that, but I love it. I love it. It's better that way. So, but other people, it's okay, man. They actually get a better life experience as far as colors and love. It feels better, I'm sure, to people who can get hurt because they've opened themselves up, brother. You understand what I'm saying? I'm very closed off. I don't get to jump with joy like a kid does. A kid is completely open and vulnerable and ready.
Yeah.
To receive all that life has, all the colors and brilliance of, whereas I'm just kind of like, nah, it's all good.
Yeah, you can make a child extremely happy pretty easily, just like you can offend a child and hurt its feelings pretty easily.
Very easily. Yeah, very easily.
Both of them kind of work together. I could easily hurt my daughter's feelings, just like I could easily make her day. So
easily. So if someone is offended, I'm not going to take that out on them, Jeff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm not going to take it out on them. Yeah. So White Lives Matter, even though they're just words, White Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. And when you say them outside of the context of Black Lives Matter, it's not even, you look at them and say, what made you even come out of nowhere to say that? Right? White Lives Matter, yeah. Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. That's easy. Why'd you waste your time to tell me that?
Yeah.
Okay, so they took it as, nah, yay, you've wore the red hat, and you already know. So many of us are not rocking with the MAGA. We're not rocking with what we consider a racist person. Candace Owens, same thing. She might as well be racist from the way that she's perceived,
Yeah.
and so that's obviously a shot at us. But Kanye West was actually in Paris, France.
Mhm.
Is the place that he actually was. He wasn't in Brooklyn.
He was in
Yeah.
Paris.
He was. He wasn't in Compton. He wasn't in Compton.
Yeah.
He was in Paris, and not only was he in Paris, Paris, Francois, it was on his back. See, Black Lives Matter was on the front. Everybody look at the front of me. White Lives Matter was on two so-called black people's back.
Mhm.
And so there's a lot to that, but it's hard to unpack that when that initial, what's going on with that? Like, come on, bro. I don't want to. So that's where it started. Then it continued into, listen, if y'all really love me, y'all would have helped me when my children were stolen from me. Kanye's kids are half white. And I never really viewed Kim Kardashian as a white woman, but I guess she is, Jeff.
Yeah, I know they're like Armenian, so I don't know what that means, but I know what it means. But yeah, I guess they are white people. I mean,
Yeah, Armenia is in Europe.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's where the Caucasus Mountains are.
So they are. I didn't think of her as a white lady, but I guess she is. And so Kanye's ex-wife is white, and his ex-mother-in-law is white, and her sisters are white. And Caitlyn, what? Bruce Jenner is white. Hey, listen. All right.
Now we'll get with the editing team after this.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And yeah, white. There's a guy named Charleston White, and he wants to get a shirt too. White Lives Matter. But his last name is White, Jeff.
Of course he would say that.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a family guy. His family matters.
Let's see. Armenian Arab people in Europe are considered white. Yeah.
Okay. Clarification.
And that's what I thought. That's what
Yeah.
how I looked at it too.
Well, if you just as a side note, real quick, if you look at what the Kardashians did to like Ray J, he started coming out about them and the way they were,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems that they are actually probably racist, also.
Let's see. Okay.
So
In the U.S., you put white on paper. Yeah, and I started being able to say that. I used to think that Chris was Latina for a little while, and then I found out no, she's actually not. Or Mark it. Okay, Mark White. So you just check the white box. Okay. So Kanye felt like you didn't help me when my kids were stolen from me. So that offended me. You feel like that I offended you. We'll just call it that. And it continued, and he started going on different platforms and talking, and then he got to this thing that has made his life, that has ruined his life. It doesn't mean he's over with it, because he has a lot of support and he has God on his side. But this one thing did ruin his life when he said, I'm tired right now, but in the morning I'm going DEFCON 3 on the Jews. And then just basically talked about them being rulers. I said I wasn't going to say that, didn't I? But anyway, it said,
yeah.
If you are from Morocco, however, that is Africa. For example, it will not count as white. Oh, wow. So many rules. Wow. You know what? These aren't rules. These are These are just not. It's just a numbers game.
That's it. Yeah.
That's all. Because white is supposed to be the majority here in the United States, and we know that that's no longer the case. White's not the majority. But he's so they call that AS. That's where we get the term AS, and that has brought him to a place where he lost a lot of money, lost a lot of contracts, and so on and so forth. All right, what do you think about that, Jeff?
There's a lot. There's a lot to look at, I suppose, but I think it's interesting how he made a comment, was then coined as AS, and then his world around him came tumbling down. And I can't think of any other comment that would create such a
One comment? You can't think of one comment that would do all the same?
nah. And the funny thing is, brother, there are a couple of words in America that are very strange
Okay.
in the way that some people can use them as much as they want, and others had better never ever say them. And you would think that a word like that would be able to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what it was, and it wouldn't do that actually.
Yeah.
Because we've seen people that are not allowed to use the word in private, and their lives didn't come crumbling down, nor did they lose everything overnight.
Yeah, but I don't think cunt is that powerful of a word, though.
It's probably not. That's wasn't the word that I was thinking of.
Oh.
So
It's just, so what's it?
It's a word that like some people can use all the time, others can't.
Yeah.
And it's like horrible to use if you're not allowed to, but it's interesting because it's like a word that people use.
Yeah, I thought
some people want to use it for some reason and they're not allowed to. Other people that are allowed to use it don't want to use it. It's a very strange word. That's all. It's an offensive word in nature, like massively offensive. And it has ruined careers, but it's like one of the most interesting things in English. No, Manny, I won't.
I can't use it.
Yeah, but it's like what he said is not equal to the offense of the word that we all know would be offensive, or others like it, and it's like it just. I find it strange that a statement that he used could.
So I can use it. Yeah, I just said it, right? Cunt. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's.
I can't say cunt.
Cunt. I can say cunt.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, I still have my job.
Do you know?
Check my email. Yeah, I still got my job.
I'm about to get very immature. All right, so but I get what you're saying. No,
yeah, yeah. For him to make that statement and then his whole world comes crumbling down, brother. That's a red flag to me, right? As an educated person, that's something I find very strange.
So Kyrie puts up a tweet, and he is tweeting about a movie that came from a book. The person that wrote the book is also the person that put together the movie. It's called Hebrews to Negroes by Ronald Dalton. It talks about a lot of things that we've talked about. Mm-hmm. Israelites, the real Hebrews, and so on and so forth. But now Kyrie is under in the fire, whatever the expression is. I need to get back to the Toastmasters, brother. But
same.
He's in hot water behind. Let's use both. He's in hot water behind posting that and saying that it's filled with anti, rhetoric. And so, what are we gonna do about this, man? Because let me share what I believed that word meant. I thought that anti meant against, which it doesn't, but that's what I thought. I thought it meant against. And then the next word Semite, I thought it meant all the people who speak the Semitic languages like Arab and Hebrew,
Akkadian,
Akkadian, yeah, and some
Phoenician, what they call Phoenician.
what they call Phoenician, and then also like the Bantu languages of Africa, like that's Semitic languages.
Yeah, pretty large portion of the world, I think, would fall under Semitic.
Yes, and we know that the Sem actually comes from the word Shem, and Shem was one of the three sons of Noah. So you had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So all the people that regenerate when the world was regenerated, that came from one of those three. So it's at least a third of the world. It's at least a third of the world.
That's
It's a lot of people, right, Jeff?
It's a lot of people.
So that's who I thought they were talking about. I thought they were talking about a lot of people until I read that. No, it's just talking about, don't say that these people, the certain people, don't say that they rule the world, and don't say that they run the they own the media. Don't say that. That is also don't say death to the, and that's well, that's pretty good. Yep.
That's our definition.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting, brother.
Well, the reason why that is, for the sake of clarity, the reason why the definition is of such is because that kind of language was used by Nazi Germany before the whole Holocaust and so on and so forth. So I get it, brother. If somebody told me all of you basketball players must die, and then I saw a lot of basketball players die after that, and then somebody comes along later and says basketball players don't deserve to live. Hey, somebody get him and put him away.
Stop him. He's gonna do it again. Yeah. I get it. I understand
right?
that.
I get it. But it shouldn't be considered hate speech if somebody's not coming from a place of hate. It's like the word that y'all are talking about, the N-word. If I use it as a term of endearment, I'll never be rejected for it, because they can look at me and say, "Oh, that sounds. You said it the right way, and also, you don't look like you hate yourself."
Yeah.
And then there it is. It works. Whereas somebody else is like, you did say it right, but
I'm still a little uncomfortable with this.
I don't know if that's gonna work.
Yeah, this is a little iffy.
So there's a lot that we can learn from this. We didn't come on here to completely back up Ye, Kyrie, or to back up the so-called Jewish people, Jew people. It was to look at it. Let's look at it. Let's see it all. Or, the black people who are offended, or not only black people were offended by the White Lives Matter shirt, actually. It was more than just white people. More than just black people that were offended.
Yeah.
But it really is to look at it and see. For one, a man should be able to stand for what he believes in, and it's beautiful to see him standing, And then when he gets closer to a thing, remember the rat, the coyote that Jeff said you could. Okay, when you get closer to a thing, you can say, "Okay, let me take that barrier or this prejudice off, because I'm closer to you now."
Yeah.
Let me have a better relationship with you than I had yesterday. And so, as Ye is, a lot of people he's talking to, either they're Jewish or they're people of the media, and that's who he's going against. So-called Jewish people, so-called media. That's what he's going against. But he's still getting as close as he can to them, and he's starting to see a little more. And because he started to see a little more, he's saying, "Okay, I didn't even think about you when I said what I said, but I don't want to say that to you.
Yeah.
I apologize if I've been," and so on and so forth. But I love seeing a man stand up for what he believes in. He's just pushing for Christ, brother. And if you see some of his latest tweets, that's all he's doing. He's just pushing, man. In your estimation, brother, where where can he go from here? Just in case he's listening, he could be one of the four.
All right. Well, just in case. First of all, I have this new uh, mixtape that I was going to play for you guys. Just in case. Now, where he can go from here is um, a place of self proficiency, right? Because there's a lot behind the scenes that's getting uncovered as well. It turns out Adidas was actually treating him pretty poorly, stealing his ideas. I think what he needs to do now is go into a place of self proficiency. He needs to start dealing with his own manufacturing, start doing his own publishing. He can actually go from here and become one of the powerhouses within multiple industries that we all already recognize, right? And not only that, but a new one, a new one. And I think that's his point. Ultimately, is he's calling out, the 8 people that are running the entire industry, or all 5 industries, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think he can actually make his space, man.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, especially with the amount of controversy involved. We learn through history that great controversy is looked upon fondly later on, right? Malcolm X was a very controversial person, and now he's looked back. We look back and we see how we actually admire the guy. And back then, it was pretty hard pressed to find people that liked him. So,
got you. That mixtape joke felt a little racist. Why not like a new clothing line idea or something? Yeah, man. Why you keep thinking of Ye as a rapper? He's just a rapper to you?
I was just listening to one of his songs like yesterday. And
oh yeah, just listening to one of his songs.
I was just saying it through the wire.
So, oh yeah, through the wire. You sir are racism.
But so I don't have any good clothing ideas.
One thing he's been doing is pleading for the children, just like the Christ says, "You have me, let these go." And that's what he was saying, because his academy was shut down because it wasn't zoned right. It wasn't zoned in the right way. And so, they came and they shut him down. So he's saying, look, don't take it out on the children. You're dealing with me, like deal with me, but don't take it out on the kids. They want to do something with this, and they I'm sure that they love the school. And so now he's saying, look at this. Okay, if I was wrong, because nobody said I was wrong, no one said I was lying. They just don't want me to say this stuff. All right, so I won't say it. I'll call them business people, certain business people. Well, look at the way that they're treating even the kids, man.